mic. I just want to say something that as we go into the new year, this is our last Sunday, and I just want to let you know that I count it a privilege to know you, to be your friend, to be your pastor, and I'm looking forward to 2019 because I know greater things are on the horizon. I know that God is going to use this church in ways that we've maybe never been used before. And for that to happen, we need to get past our flesh. We need to get past our fears. We need to get past all this stuff that holds us down, that keeps us from doing what God is asking us to do. It keeps us from being who you desire to be. Amen? Amen. At the end of the service, we're going to put more of those up. If you didn't put it up, if you still need a piece of paper, what it is, if you don't know, is what you don't want to bring into 2019. Okay, I asked everyone last week to think about it. I didn't think you'd think that fast. Yeah, you showed me. You're ready. That's what it shows me. You're ready. You're ready to give it to God. You're ready to do what you have to do. You're ready to see God move because there's going to be a great awakening, and I believe that we're part of that. Why are we part? Because of all the testimonies in this place. Because of all the things that God has done. You see, when you're delivered from much, you love much. Amen. We've been talking about God's secrets. We've learned a lot in the last few weeks about his secrets. About if we seek him, we will find him. A lot of us are crying out for God to find us, but he's telling you to seek him. He already found you, okay? You're not lost to him. It may be the other way around. You're not finding him. Amen. I know that in the last, I don't know what it's been, 2 months, I have spent a lot of time at this altar, and I plan to keep on spending time at this altar like I've never did before in my life. I'm looking forward to the fast, which is not this week, but next week on Tuesday. I'm looking forward to it because God speaks to you when you fast. He speaks to me when I fast. That's why I love it. Amen, amen. Trust me, I want to eat like everybody else wants to eat. I want to eat. But when you know that God will speak to you, that God will meet you in ways that maybe you haven't been met before, maybe you have things that you've been asking and you don't have the answer. That's what you do. Some things only come by fasting and praying. And so you don't have to do a complete fast. It's between you and God, amen? The important thing is that we're all doing this together, amen? And in the mornings, at lunch, we're going to have lunch here, which is, of course, prayer. You can have some water, too. But, so, at the noon hour, we will pray, right? What are you going to do when you're usually at lunch, right? The point is not to starve yourself and not seek God. The point is that when you're hungry and normally you're eating at this time, you are more God conscious. So I'm looking forward to it. I hope that you accept the challenge and be part of it in any which way that you and God decide. Amen. God's secrets. Last couple weeks we've talked about purpose. You have Matthew 25, verse 29. Now this is huge. Last week we talked about using your gifts, right? In proportion to what you have. 25 years ago, my gifts were there, but they were limited. My faith was there, but it was limited. Oh, I thought I was all of that in a piece of pie, but life taught me, you know, I told you pride will what? It'll bring you down. And I've come to realize that my character, while I have the gifts and ability, my character needed to match. Gifts without character for God are useless. Now, maybe somewhere else, if you're working at the YMCA and you punch out at 5 and nobody gives a rip what you do, right? But God does. And while everything is permissible, don't get me wrong, God's grace, it's not all profitable. And you're here because you're trying to improve your lives. You're here because you're seeking God. You're here because you want to know how you and God can connect so that you can live the best life that you can live. So for that reason, we find God's revelations, God's secrets, so that we can live the best version of ourselves. Amen? Matthew 25, 29 says this. For whoever has will be given more, whoever has will be given more, and they will have an abundance. Whoever does not have, even what they have will be taken away from them. The New Living Translation says this, to those who use well what they are given, even more will be given, and they will have an abundance. But from those who do nothing, even what little they have will be taken away. So what is that telling us? It's saying whenever we use our gifts, our talents, who God created us to be, and He created all of us different, when we put it to use, it will grow. But if you're immobilized, if you're stuck, if you're in fear, it's sort of like if you're right-handed, your left hand is weaker, right? And your right hand is stronger. Like this can pump, right? Pump, pump, pump. But this is more of a struggle because I use my right hand. I put it to use, so what happens? It grows. Same with our talents, same with our gifts. How about a bowler's forearm right here from bowling, right? I'm sure their left hand is not quite the same because they use their forearm. Or a dancer's legs. Their calves are rock solid. When I was in Bible college, my calves were rock solid, and I was the master of the stairmaster. Nobody, no guy, no woman, no nothing could have beat me. Because if you use it, it will grow. In Nepal, where I was a missionary, and there were no no one had cars. They were on bikes and little motorbikes if they had money. Nobody had really cars except maybe Westerners. And anyway, even if you had a car, there were no roads to go up these mountains. So these Nepalis would come down to get food, to get rice, to get bricks to build, all these things that they need up in their village, which is up in the mountains, okay? For us, it would be like we're going trekking. For them, it's just daily life. They laugh at us because people go there to trek, and they're wondering, why would you do this if you don't have to? Right. They have no concept of what vacation is because they don't get one. But their calves, these men or women that carried this stuff on their backs, I mean, I'm panting with nothing on my back. Nothing, just me trying to get up this mountain, nothing. And these guys have especially the guys carrying bricks back up to the village because that's how you get it there. That's simple. People live there. They want houses. You carry the bricks. I mean, I think they take the award for the calves. These people were so strong. So strong. In the same way, this is the law of whatever you put to good use will grow. Amen? Whatever you put to good use. It's sort of, are you beginning to get the sense that God is a God that put thought into how he created this world, this universe? I mean, beyond just gravity and motion, those laws, there are laws, spiritual laws, right? We've talked about a few, such as the law of attraction, how unhealthy attracts unhealthy. Okay? I mean, that's it. Get healthy. Or the law of reaping and sowing. You're going to reap what you sow. Why? Because that's how God put this thing we call life together. And he said if you give, he will give it back, right? Shaken down, pushed together. So if I want a friend, I'd be a friend. That's right, that's right. Same with Satan. Satan's pretty powerless because there are rules. There are laws set in place. What he can do and what he can't do. And any power that he has in our lives is because we're giving it to him, because it's not truth. It's not truth. I always say he's a mouse with a megaphone. And it sounds so loud, it sounds so bad, it sounds so convincing, but he ain't nothing. He's just another creation. He can't beat God. So the only thing he can do is convince us. The father of lies. That's who he is. We're going to look at the Gospels. It's in Matthew 25. But the Gospel's the story of the three servants, because we're talking about your gifts. We're talking about your talents. We're talking about what are you doing with them. This story is about three servants of this one man that was leaving town. He was going out of town. And so he called his three servants and he said, I'm going to give you gold, right? Bags of gold. One he gave 5 bags. Another he gave 2 bags. Another he gave 1 bag. and he left. He wanted them to make money, right? Does our money make money? It does if we do it right. It does if we do it right. If we invest in the right things and stay away from things that depreciate, like I said last week, like getting a car, a brand new car, you roll it out of the showroom, it's done. You just lost right there. It's not going to make you a dime. But there are things you can invest in that will produce for you. And I'm not talking about quick money. We already talked about it. If it's too good to be true, it's too good to be true. That's not one of God's laws. God's laws is a process. God's laws work when we work it. God's laws work when we're doing what we're supposed to be doing. God is not going to do for you what you can do for yourself. Because the story is really about God. God saying, I gave you gifts. I'm going to give you 5 gifts. I'm going to give you 2 gifts. I'm going to give you 1 gift. And I want to see what you're going to do about it. What are you going to do? Well, one thing, the guy with 5 bags, when the master came back, invested, did good things, and he had 5 more bags to go. The other one that had 2 bags, invested it, made money for the master. He doubled 2. He had 2 bags, 2 additional bags, so he had 4 bags. And then the one that was given 1 bag was immobilized. He was afraid. He didn't want to invest this man's money. He didn't want to do what he needed to do, what was given to him to do. He didn't do anything. He thought, if I just show up, give him the money back, it's all good. But that's not what it's about. It's about using something and growing it. So the guys with 5 and 2, the guys that doubled their money, he said, well done. Well done, my good and faithful servants. The one that said, I was afraid that I would lose your money, and he's just rattling off his fears, and this is what the master said. You lazy, wicked. I mean, it's unbelievable. I know one thing when I read this. When I get to heaven, I don't want God to say, you lazy, wicked. Amen? Because he's given me gifts. He's given me talents. He's given me a love, right? And I want to get to heaven where I not only double, not only quadruple, but I want to make sure that 1 billionth my gifts. I want to hear his words. I want to hear him say, well done, my good and faithful servant. I feel bad for the guy with the 1 bag trying to play it safe. Playing it safe will get you nothing. Anybody who has anything is a risk taker. Is someone who is willing to put it all on the line. This guy was afraid to lose his money, and he hid it in the earth. In areas we feel afraid. In areas that we feel afraid, we do the least. Because we're listening to the wrong voice. When there's something that you feel impassioned about, but you're stuck, You're stuck because there's fear there, so you don't do it, right? And you gain nothing. We hide to protect ourselves. And we don't step out and try. A lot of people, that's right where you're at. All you got to do, you're at the edge of the building, right? Your feet are right there. You're looking down, and you're wondering what's going to happen when I step. Just do it. Amen? Trust God. Amen? Trust God that He's with you. Trust God that He'll support you. Trust God that if it doesn't work, what did you lose? Failure is our stepping stone to success. That's where that pride comes in, and it stops you because what if this don't work? What if I look bad? What if this? What if that? It's exhausting. It's exhausting. Worrying about all that nonsense. God has given you gifts. He's given you talents. Step out in faith and do what's in your heart to do. It's already there. When we're afraid, we see all the things that could go wrong. We feel the outside world is going to get us in some way. We feel like there's a demon behind every tree waiting to sabotage you. And you can't move because you've convinced yourself this ain't going to work. There's no way that I went from being a junkie, heroin and cocaine for all those years. There's no way that I can go from that to where I am today. Except that I died to self, right? When I got discipled, I heard God speaking and to go to Bible school, and I don't even know what Bible school really is. I applied to Catholic, I applied to Lutheran. I thought Jesus was Jesus. I didn't think, Assembly of God, Church of God in Christ, Missionary Baptist, Catholic, Lutheran, Presbyterian. I applied to every college I could find. And that scares me because I could have been a nun. I could have became a nun. I'm so grateful I could hear God. And He sent me to North Central University, which started my vision. See, God's got it all in check. And I really didn't know how I'm going to go to that school because I'm not going to fit in. I mean, most of them are coming from Christian homes. Most of them are just out of high school, right? Most of them are just out there for the first time in their lives without their parents over them. And then here's me. They didn't know what hit that school. They didn't know what happened to that school. I talk different, I walk different, I dress different. And they tried to conform me, and I'm like, it ain't happening. It's not happening. I mean, when I went to that school, you couldn't even, as a woman, usher. You couldn't even take the offering. And I fought it the whole time I was there. And I finally got to take the offering. People didn't get it. But you know what? I grabbed onto a vision. And I pressed through. I stepped to the edge of the building, and I stepped. And when I graduated, I stepped again. And when I started Teen Challenge, I stepped again. And when I started the first church, we stepped again. Don't know what's going to happen. That's scary. You got this much money, you got this at an auction, and it's a dump. Abandoned for, I don't know, over 10 years. This place is a mess. You walk through with masks and a flashlight. Because there's no lights, there's no heat, there's nothing. You take a chance, right? You trust that God is in this, and you move. And you work. And you work hard. And you work harder than you ever did in your whole life, because it's only depending on you and your husband to keep it going. And there were years where we were holding on like by our fingernails, but still paying the bills, still doing what we needed to do, fighting because we knew this, God wanted this, and we're not quitters. We don't quit. The only way to lose is to quit. That's the only way you can lose. We also tend to blame our inactivity on other people. Like, it's my boss's fault. Like, it's my husband's fault. Everything that goes wrong is his fault. You know when our lives begin to move? When we say, it's my fault. And I have to do something about it. When we stop looking for someone to point at and just take ownership of our lives. Nobody owns your life except you and God. Work it out, work hard, use it, use what God's given you. Don't quit, and it will grow. There's no if, and, or buts. There is not. It will grow. Because it's a principle, it's a law. This is how God put together the earth. The law of increase is true in all situations. It's not just financial. If you want a relationship to work, you make an investment. Not in yourself. Or y'all get crazy. You make an investment in you. You become the best you. You become the healthy you, so that you're ready for a relationship. If your kids, you have a bad relationship, make an investment and it will grow. Make an investment. See what the problem is and work it out inside of you. You can't change anybody. You can only change you. What we invest in will grow. It's that simple. Don't just gripe about it. Be about it. Don't just talk about it, be about it. I can tell you that some people have been living the last umpteen years talking about a situation, and it's like, please, don't talk about it, be about it. Do something? Why are you living the one life that God has given you? Why are you living this one life in agony? Because you will not do something about it, which may be step away from that thing, which may be fix yourself. You're a mess. It may be I need to stop drinking. I need to stop drugging. I need to be honest. Whatever it is, stop talking about it and be about it. This is it, folks. This is your one life. God has given you talents. What are you, I'm coming over here. What are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? What are you going to do? Be about it. There you go. She's listening. Sometimes I don't know why, but I'm coming here. John. God's given us talents. And don't think that I'm perfect, because I'm not. I have fears that I don't want to step, right? But if I want to grow, and I want to grow, I have to get over it. I got to change what's in me that looks at it that way. My perception is off. My perception is not real. My perception is a lie. In order to find your purpose in life, man, even Steve got it. And Steve does it. He's about it. Where's Charlie? Because he always says, be about it, be about it. I can't even do it the way he does it. I'm not even sure what he's saying. But I think it means be about it. Are you about Jesus? Oh, I'm trying. All right, you ready? In order to find your purpose in life is how you will serve God and how you will serve mankind. You have to stop fantasizing. I talked about it before. We have this dream, we have this passion, we have this vision, but it's all here. A fantasy that we will not bring out, that we will not make it happen. Listen to me. If you can see it, you can do it. If you can see it, you can do it. When you do the law of multiplication, things start to grow. When you put money to use and invest the profits and dividends, you begin to get the magic of interest. That is also what happens when you use your talents and ability to step out in an area and get involved. And as you get better, I don't think that was God. That might have been the mouse. It's all right, people. I meant Satan. I didn't mean a mouse. Don't start stepping on the chairs and going crazy. Is Charlie here? I don't want to talk about him if he's not here. Huh? Well, then I'll tell it another time. It's not right. Get rid of thinking that you have to conquer it like in one day. You see something, it doesn't mean, bam, there you are. Nobody can do that. Nobody can just see a vision, have a passion, and then step out and be at the end. Sometimes that's how we look at it, and it's too big. So what do? You go from glory to glory to glory to glory to glory to glory to glory, and you keep going and you keep going and you keep going. It's sort of like eating an elephant. How do you eat an elephant? Bite, bite, bite. And eventually you'll have that thing down. It's like a ladder. You go from one rod to the other, one rod to the other, one rod to the other. Don't expect it all to just... Don't get disillusioned when there's roadblocks in your way, because those roadblocks are there to strengthen you. Don't get upset because people don't agree with you and people are talking about you and people are saying things. Just keep going. Don't even worry about it. Don't talk about it. Don't get on Facebook and rag about it. Just do what you're doing. And do it God's way. Which is, if somebody's talking about you, it means that they're hurting. It means that they're not well. It means that they see somebody moving and they want to bring it down, and not maybe consciously, but you can't help it because you're not healthy. If you have a passion, if you wanted to be an actor, you wouldn't just like tomorrow fly out to LA. But maybe you would take a class at the community college. Amen? Piece by piece by piece by piece. And you get to where you're wanting to go. If there's a sport that you want to do but never did, get a coach. Do it. Big dreams don't become reality in big steps, but in a million little ones. Whatever you use grows, and whatever you don't, your purpose is waiting for you. Who God created you to be is waiting for you. What we're going to do right now is, if you haven't put what you want to leave in 2018 and not take, into the next year, we're going to put it on this cross. And I'm going to tell you, God does miracles sometimes with what people put up here. So if you already put it up and you think of something else, keep putting up.